It has been said that in war, a man's brain turns into water and pours out his ears, and all he goes on is instinct. For every soldier, fear is an enemy.
People have said they were scared. You can say you're scared. Now, if you say you're scared and you won't do it, then you're in the wrong line of work. I think fear is good. I think each fear level that you reach, you're closer to your goal. But getting in a platoon, you need to control the fear, because fear is good because it keeps you smart, it keeps you from being hurt.
No SEAL has ever surrendered or been captured. No SEAL has ever been left behind by his comrades. To an operator, the only thing worse than losing is quitting.
It comes from a doctrine that's been around since day one in the teams, and that doctrine is this, is that we cannot afford the luxury of a quitter. We can't do that. If we're out in the field and we're on an actual mission and somebody says, hey, no, I'm tired of this, I want to go home, we can't afford that. It's not part of the plan.
The reality is you have a bunch of guys who just want to be really, really good at their jobs. They hate to lose. You'll see that in everything they do. I mean, you could play friggin' hopscotch and it would turn violent if SEALs played it, just because one team would be losing. Pays to be a winner, just like they say in BUDS.
Officially called Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training, it's better known simply as BUDS, an all-volunteer 6-month training course that every officer and enlisted man must pass through to become a SEAL. Tougher and more difficult than most military training. For every 1,000 men who apply to become a SEAL, less than 15% are accepted to begin BUDS training. During the 25-week course that follows, 70% or more of the original students who begin BUDS will quit or be failed.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're waiting on you back there, Missy.
People are sometimes shocked about what they see when it comes to BUDS training. People have to understand that what we're trying to do here is we're getting an individual ready to go to war.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Recover, Carpenter.
BUDS is a kick in the nuts. That's about what BUDS is. BUDS is an initiation. BUDS is to find out if you need to be here or not need to be here.
9, 8, 9, 30.
Well, the reason that we're hard on them is because the job is hard. This is nothing like what happens in the real world. So if you at all are shocked by some of the stuff that goes on, or how stringent some of the days are, you've got to realize that where we go and the way and the places that we operate in demand more out of us than what we can provide here in training.
You'll see a lot of the things which may look to the American public very sensational, i.e. Having hands and feet tied in a swimming pool, or carrying logs around for 4 hours over their heads. The sense of the whole training is to evoke from him this tremendous dedication, this great inner strength which is there, and which he needs to tap and to demonstrate under extremely stressful conditions.
All SEAL instruction is preparation for the actual moments of battle, when fear can paralyze a man's ability to react in a combat situation. The obstacle course exposes weakness and indecision. Although this training is designed to foster competition and reward aggressiveness, every experienced SEAL operator believes that teamwork equals survival. The students who pass BUDS training will be those who remain in control and work together, no matter the conditions, no matter the fear.
Forward, march. Change seat.
This water is so cold it shocks a man's breath away. Every man's ability to endure cold must be unquestionable. Being cold and wet makes minutes seem like hours. It can drive a person insane with misery and make him question his commitment to becoming a SEAL.
Cold is probably one of the primary reasons people drop out of training, because it's an incredible demoralizer. I mean, if you're cold and wet, I mean, you just don't want to do anything. And the last thing you want to do is get any colder. If you're constantly cold and constantly wet, I mean, it really has an impact on everything you do. We're cold and wet. We work in water, and that's why we have an emphasis on that so much. But you have to function. I mean, you have to keep going, and you have to keep doing what you're doing. It's easy to say I quit, but you know, we don't quit in this business.
What's your problem, Mr. Knoll? Why don't you want to be here? Hell Week is simulated combat scenario, and you're failing. We put you in a real situation, you're gonna kill people. So you've got to put out,
Special operations forces are sports cars, for example. They're a real high speed, a rail job, a dragster, for example, and they have to be honed to a lot finer sharpness. It takes a lot to get a man there. If they want Porsches and dragsters in the inventory to go out and do the things that this nation needs done that cannot employ main force units, then they're just going to have to pay the price.